Good morning, everybody. Yeah.
Oh, that was my dance moves for the day.
Welcome back to the show. This is episode 435 of the Two Dum
Woohoo!
Yinzers. I've come to a conclusion, Mike, that Derpy I see that he's not here, and we were wondering last week because remember last week he didn't show up on pick day,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the week before there was an issue where he wasn't there on pick day. So I think that this is what it is. I think that Derpy, for whatever reason, he just doesn't want to be here on pick day. He doesn't want to make his picks, which is fine. He doesn't have to make his picks. If he was here and he would say that, then there'd
Yeah.
be, we wouldn't force him to make picks. But
I,
I think I've come to the conclusion that that's what it is, though.
yeah. He was like yesterday, it was a snafu on my end. I didn't get the message that I had to send him the link. So that was my bad, Terps. But today he's ducking me. Again, he is ducking me.
I mean, he was here yesterday.
No, he wasn't. Was he?
Yeah, the day before he wasn't here.
Oh, that was the day before. Yeah. So my bad the day before. But yeah, so today, yeah. Today, yep, he's ducking me. He does not want to make the picks. He's afraid to lose. And I don't blame him. I am undefeated this season against Derp. And yeah, he's ducking me.
You're undefeated. And I mean,
I haven't lost to an inanimate object yet this year.
no, you haven't. I'm about to throw a kitchen pot or something in here to have something beat you, but literally, you're undefeated. Like
I'm undefeated.
and you haven't done great either. That's the thing.
I haven't done great. I might have to do picks against my kid to see, what
Yeah.
happens. But I think we should do that. I like me versus my son in picks, who has no idea what's
I
going
know
on
we
in the
need
world of football.
we need to get
He
you a
makes so many
loss.
appearances, so we might as well have him do something for
Yeah,
us.
but like I said, I mean, there's a good chance that you'll lose because of,
I probably will. Yeah,
and we could
that
use that.
could be my thing now. Like I lost my son who has autism.
Well,
Just
here's the
making
thing.
picks.
You always lose when you're up against somebody or something.
Yeah,
And there's no competition because again, Derpy, he's not showing up for this. And again, I don't get why. I don't understand why.
me either. Me either.
Um,
He just doesn't. I don't know
I
what
have
it
some
is.
ideas, but I don't want to really into them on the
Yeah,
air without him. If he
yeah,
was here,
exactly. Yeah, yeah. We don't
I
want
would
to.
be able to drill him and grill him and get it to
Yeah,
the bottom of this. And if he would just get here, but again, he'll be here tomorrow and he'll be just fine.
it, I don't know. I don't know. He might be going for the 4-day weekend.
Well, he may go for the 4-day weekend, depending on if he catches this show or not.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, but yeah, I don't think he's going to make it today. I think he is going to go for the 4-day weekend.
Let's do a bet now. I'm gonna bet the Derpy's here tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna go with the 4-day weekend. Which both I think that's probably the safe bet anyway.
Yeah, I think
4-day weekend.
Yeah,
Because that's generally what he's been doing. But again, it's not. I wonder. I just wonder if it's the concern of he. I think that he thinks it's gambling in a way.
I think so too. And it's not gambling. No one has put money down.
Just by some of the things that he said in the past. And I just thought to myself, and I told him, I said, Derpy, it's not gambling. There's nothing, nothing being exchanged, nothing being won, nothing being lost. And I would think that he would love to beat you and be able to talk trash. But I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. Why don't you talk to me, Derpy?
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know what his thing is.
How are things going to get fixed if he doesn't talk?
Yeah, he doesn't talk. Communication is key in all situations.
Yeah, most situations.
I wouldn't say all situations. Communication is key.
Not when you're hiding from somebody.
That's true. That's true.
You want to avoid communication as much as possible.
Oh, Derpy is on point with that.
Yeah. And he does good. He did well.
He did well. Like in preseason, I think what wasn't it like week 1 is when he lost. He won like week 1. No, or like the last week of preseason, something.
And it was all downhill from there,
Yeah. He did not like what was happening. Once he started to lose, and then he couldn't shit talk me anymore.
Yeah.
You ever notice that he likes to shit talk me, but the minute I shit talk him back, he gets real quiet.
I have observed. Yes.
I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to put them on blast, but there are trends.
Yeah.
There are signs.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with Derpy.
Hopefully he makes it back this week. I like Derpy. I like him and I's little give and take.
So
Derpy, come back.
Derpy, come back. A couple of things yesterday. I did notice I checked on the comment boards after the show yesterday. I think Steeler Freak really wants us to go visit him, Mike.
I saw those comments too. They popped up last night when I was sleeping, and I saw them before the show. I'm like, I would love to go to Vegas and hang out with Steeler Freak.
I'm gonna let me read it aloud. That way, listeners know what we're talking about. I'm gonna read the second one because the first was basically just saying that he was on his way back from Venice, California. Okay, he lives in the Las Vegas area, and he had to take his family members to Venice in California. So he missed a show yesterday. So this is what we got on the board. I thought it was pretty cool. So he says, one keepsake you don't want is VD. There is a new hotel off the strip called Durango, which kicks ass and is 1 mile from my cave. It is off the strip, which isn't bad. We can Uber to hot spots. I was in the Army for 28 years, so I had a planned party like there might be no tomorrow. Tell Derpy to bring IV bags for all.
See? Yeah, that's a cry to come on out, boys, and have some fun.
Which, I think that I dig because I'll pack up right now and I'll come out. I'll go out there right now, right this very minute.
Yeah. Hey, I'm off all next week. I'll figure something out for the kid. He can watch himself.
But the more I kept reading, the more it was intriguing. The more I thought to myself, you know what? We could do this. We could actually we could do a Vegas show. And if we plan the timing right and make it out there like when the Penguins are playing Vegas or something, that would be phenomenal.
That would
be a lot of planning. And but then we'd have to, like I said, we'd have to figure out a way to drag Derpy down because I want Derpy to be there.
He needs to bring the IV bags apparently. But I would spend a day.
Yeah. Back in action tonight, Mike. The Pittsburgh Penguins. The Penguins host the Colorado Avalanche. The Avalanche come to town with a 6-0 record. They do have the best record in the NHL. Game is tonight at 7:00. Penguins are 2-4, and they are in fact the worst team in the Eastern Conference by points. Nobody's worse than our Pittsburgh Penguins. They're the very bottom of every team in the East. Luckily, there's a couple teams in the West, especially the Sharks with 1 point so far.
Yeah,
but we're not at the bottom of the league yet. But give it time. Give the Avalanche come to town tonight, and this could all change. They play.
Watch us ball out against the Avalanche.
That would be something that we would do. I would not be surprised one bit if that's what happened.
We rise to the occasion against.
We beat Colorado.
Yeah,
and then Ottawa comes to town on Saturday. I don't know if they're any good, but I'm sure if they're bad, we'll probably lose to them.
Oh yeah, that's how it's going to go. That's how it always goes.
John Ludwig apparently is okay.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, that was good. It was scary, man. During the game, would see somebody just
Oh yeah,
yeah.
He knocked himself unconscious with the hit. I kept reading that when he hit him, it looked like he hit his helmet. I kept watching it, looking for a helmet hit. I didn't see it, but he hit something where he passed out on the way down. I've never seen that. I seen the guy get hit and pass out, but not the guy laying the hit, pass out, then hit the ice unprotected. So that was rough.
Yeah. So he's gonna be okay.
Yeah, and I thought it was weird that Penguin fans there's a certain hi buddy. There's a certain segment online that's saying that the Penguins should have stuck up for him. He checked himself. There's nothing. The guy didn't do anything wrong.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Major League Baseball game one of the World Series is tomorrow night between the Diamondbacks and the Rangers. That game is at 8:03. Again, the big connection for anybody from Western Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio, you could say, is the Austin Hedges effect, the Austin Hedges deal that landed him in the World Series. possibly the worst hitting catcher that I've seen in my life has a chance to walk away with with a World Series ring. It is what it is. I guess there ain't much you can really do about it. But can you imagine, Mike, if you have to say you turn on a TV 20 years from now with your grandkids, and Austin Hedges is an announcer for baseball, and you got to look at a big World Series ring on his hand for the next 15 years.
You know he's going to live it up if he like. He's probably like a nice guy.
He's a really super nice guy. That's the hardest part.
Bad part. Like we sit here and bash him because he was bad in Pittsburgh and bad everywhere he's been.
Couldn't hit a baseball.
But then he's going to be a nice guy, go out there and win a World Series, get his childhood dream, and here we are just crapping on him.
I seen, as I said, they do these shows like when the Pirates have rain delays.
Yeah, you were telling me that he did a bunch of charity work.
He's unbelievably nice.
Yeah,
him and his wife.
I feel bad.
And his parents, like he goes with his wife and his parents, and he goes like other countries overseas and African countries.
Yeah,
countries
he helps everyone out.
And he takes aid over there and takes food and he's on top of it. It isn't like he's just doing it to do it. Like he's involved.
And here we are, like F this guy for what the World Series. All because he couldn't hit here in Pittsburgh.
Well, apparently he can't hit anywhere.
Well, he can't hit anywhere. No.
We especially didn't like him because he didn't hit here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
As you said, Mike, he's batting a whopping 188 or something.
It was like a 188. Yeah, it was some really bad number.
So,
but good for him if he wins one. But F him because he couldn't do anything here in Pittsburgh.
But you know what will happen? Excuse me. Back, 10 years ago when the Pirates were good, boy, this conversation is not going to change because I had the same conversation with the early 90s Pirates where I was like, 10 years ago when this team was good, 15 years ago when this team was good, 20 years ago when this team was good, until the very next good team. You will have this conversation will start this way many times, Mike, for you and us in our life. 10 years ago when this team was good, they initially had a catcher named Rod Barajas. I don't know if you remember Barajas, but he was from the Dodgers. But he was a step up from what we had prior to. I don't remember who the catcher was that was prior to. And everyone got excited. And he ended up not being as good as people thought he was going to be. And then the next step, we got Russell Martin.
Yep.
And Barajas left. And we was like, oh no, who's this guy? Who's this clown?
Yeah, Russell Martin came in.
Russell Martin ended up being amazing.
Yeah.
So maybe we're at that point. Maybe we're at that point now to where we booed the guy out of town and we got the next Russell Martin, maybe Andy Rodriguez or somebody like this could be the next.
I'm hoping Andy can be, like you said, that next Russell Martin. I really like Andy.
And maybe next year we could be right in it. There's a lot of things that point to this team, could possibly be moving in the right direction and not be that far from where we would like them to be.
Yeah.
There's a lot of signs that, as I said, we've got a lot of these young guys that certainly got a lot of playing time this year.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys that were supposed to be the future of the team, they got to come up, they got to play. You're going to get a healthy team back where you didn't have O'Neal Cruz for 95% of the season. I mean, he was out in the first series of the series, the first series of the season. And
I know what you meant. Yeah.
So there's going to be things that are going to be happening. And if we would make a couple right moves, and I think they heavily involve getting starting pitching, in my opinion. You make a couple right moves, Mike, you're not too far off from what the Texas Rangers and what the Arizona Diamondbacks are, because again, 2 years ago, they both lost 100 plus games.
Yeah. I hope they can do that though, but I'm not so sure, man. Like
I'm not either.
Right moves, because
everything would tell you that that's not going. Everything would tell you that that's not going to happen. Everything that we know about baseball here in Western PA would tell you that that's not going to happen.
Yeah, and we're going to need guys to play the way we need them to play. We're going to need them to put up good numbers consistently from start to finish. Mitch Keller can't fall apart in the middle of the season. And
if he does, there needs to be other
pitchers to pick up that slack.
It could be the safety net and don't let things get out of control and get out of that. That's the key. Everybody has ups and downs. We just had nobody there
there was no depth
rebound after he did have 2 or 3 or 4 bad starts in a row.
Yeah,
there needs to be. You can't have a guy like Mitch Keller carrying your team. It's not going to work. Never, anywhere.
Yeah. No, you need more than that, and we need Russell Martin to play great from wire to wire. Brian Hayes needs to be great from wire to wire. If we're paying them that kind of money, that's the results we need, and we
Henry
weren't getting from
Davis.
them.
Henry Davis obviously is going to be a
Yeah.
big part of this team moving forward, and I think he deserves to be a big part of this team. I think he's going to be a fine big part of this team. Other people as well. Jared Triolo, I know we liked him a lot. This guy could hit the ball.
Oh, he can.
You're
Yeah,
looking
he can
for a
swing it.
you're looking for a guy who's a consistent hitter who puts the stick on the bat every time. Like
Mhm.
Jason Kendall. A lot of people don't remember that about him.
But he can hit.
No, he didn't get on all the time. He always made contact with the ball. I
Yep.
like that because sometimes you get in a situation where all you need to do is make contact with the ball
Yeah.
to make something happen. And I like that. I like that about Triolo and Henry Davis, even for that matter. I mean, these guys did hit their strikeout quota, I believe, this year. But again, they're young guys that needed to get in the pros,
Exactly. Yeah.
face pro pitching, and you expect this to happen.
Yeah.
Andy Rodriguez behind the plate.
Yeah.
I thought Nick Gonzalez is probably going to be a solid second baseman, but give him a little more time. It seemed like
Yeah.
he struggled after a while. But there was some other middle infielders that came up through the period of the whole process, and they
Yeah.
did well. If things go the way that they should naturally flow,
Mhm.
things should get a little bit better for us moving forward. But again, this is the Pirates, and you can't take them out of that Cleveland Browns category just because things are looking good now. Because
Yeah.
as soon as they start actually playing the game,
Yep. That's when
you
it
throw
falls
all that out
apart.
the window because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They have a
And
pea on their head.
yeah, I'm just hoping like it's being shown that you don't have to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to be competitive, but you do still have to spend money to win, and you have to spend that money wisely. We can't go out like our big free agent can't be another Carlos Santana or another Andrew McCutcheon.
Yeah.
Those guys 5, 6, 7 years ago, yeah, those would have been great signings. But now they were just okay. The typical veteran signing that the Buccos get, guys at the end of the career, like Kutch just wanting to come home to Pittsburgh. I'm fine with that. If he wants to come back, he was still productive for what he was. But we can't get a Carlos Santana, be like a guy trying to hang on to the league and maybe show something to a contender, like we kind of did towards the end of the year with him. I want someone who, if we're going to sign a first baseman, which is what this team needs, I want someone to sign someone who's going to be here for the next 4 years.
Or if it's going
Spend
to
that
be
money.
Triolo, stick with them, make the commitment to
Yeah.
him. Excuse me, because I from what I've seen from Jared Triolo compared to everybody else that got pulled up, I thought he performed ultimately the best
Mhm.
altogether from top to bottom, fielding all the way through hitting. I thought Triolo was the most effective player. And then, as we mentioned earlier, Mike, these key players, you keep Brian Hayes,
Yep.
Brian Reynolds, and Jack Sawinski, that they're a big part. And Brian Reynolds can't play like he played this year. People could say, well,
No.
he had a successful season, and he did in baseball terms. But you have to have something more than a successful season if you're that guy getting paid the big
Yep.
money on a baseball team. You can't not be that guy if that's the guy that they want you to be. He's key moving forward. Keep Brian Hayes. He's solid. He battled a little bit of injury issues this year.
Yeah.
But you know what? He got back to it. He got on this huge hitting streak, and he's probably going to win a Gold Glove. Jack Sawinski, he's in question for me because when you're trying to build your outfield, you're looking for speed out there, and it seems like they have they're content on the corner outfields. So is Jack Sawinski? I mean, I don't know if he's if he's a natural center fielder or not.
I don't think so.
But if that's not the case, and you're not going to use Triolo at first, put Henry Davis at first base, move Jack Sawinski to right field. He's going to hit you 30 home runs out of right field,
Yeah.
and then you could focus on finding yourself a fast, athletic center fielder.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Or even like he doesn't have to start every day though. Get it, or he can DH. As long as we're not playing a left-handed pitcher. You can
Which
have
he picked up this season.
Yeah, he started to do better, and he's like our only legit power hitter that this team has.
Yeah.
So I would find a way for him to play every day, or up most days, because no one plays all 162 anymore. But you know what I mean, plays the majority of the games, and then filter in that speedy center fielder when you need him for Yeah, but it's locked. Go play.
Yeah. I
But yeah, like the team, they have some pieces there, but I think they need some more, a lot more pieces. You know, a lot has to go right. We saw how good and competitive they can be when everything goes right.
Yeah.
You know, that first month, man, they were the hottest team in baseball. If not, like it was like them in Tampa Bay. Then all of a sudden, for the next 2.5 months, we saw how bad the Pirates can be. Then at the end, we kind of saw how good they can be again. They just need to string it all together. Do I think they're going to end up in the World Series like the Diamondbacks and the Rangers? No, but I think they can contend for a wild card next year if things go right. And I think that's going to be the key with the Pirates going forward is everything needs to go right for this team because they're not going to spend a lot of money on payroll. That's just the way it is, Pirate fans. We're just going to have to accept that fact that Bob Nutting's not going to spend a lot of money. So you have to do everything right. Not a lot can go wrong. You sign a free agent, they have to work. You get a high draft pick, they have to pan out.
Just real quick, I want to catch up on the board. Good morning, Steeler Freak. What's up, brother? Also, Ralph, nice to see you, man. Sawinski does strike out a lot. However, so did Jose Canseco. So did a lot of these guys that are going to hit you 30 plus home runs a season, which Jack Sawinski certainly has the potential to do. They're going to strike out a lot. And the one thing about I think that there's room for Sawinski to grow because he is a young player. Sawinski, I think that he could certainly improve, get better, and cut down on them strikeouts. As we said, as the season went on, he was more successful against left-handed pitching. So, if he works hard at it, he works all off season, works on his against lefties, things could get better in that aspect. Again, I would have no problem with him hitting 30 home runs out of right field, even if he is going to strike out, more than average. Again, that's what you had with Pedro Alvarez. Again, that's what you had with Jose Canseco. Anybody that hits a lot of home runs, anybody that's a natural home run hitter, you're taking that big cut at the ball. And a lot of times you're swinging that ball before you even see it. And if you're not a top hitter in the league, which he's not a top hitter, he's a long ball hitter, and you don't see the pitch immediately a lot of times. And that's why home run hitters have a hard time hitting the breaking ball. That's why home run hitters have a hard time hitting the slider. These guys, they specifically look for the fastball. They get that early cut on it and they send it flying. So, I mean, you got to expect that if we want a guy that's going to hit a lot of home runs on his team, you got to expect a guy that's going to strike out his share as well. And again, we are the Pirates. It's not like we're the Yankees getting Yankee caliber home run hitters. So, I mean, those are things that we have to consider moving forward. And I feel that, this year was an improvement compared to last year. And I believe they won 14 more games than we did, the year previously. And that's a good sign because if you won 16 games more than you did last year, then maybe you can improve onto that. And if you improve 10 games, you're in the playoffs. So the team has to really focus on being consistent. They have to focus on meeting goals and getting there. Otherwise, you're just throwing this random product out there like you do every year.
Hodgepodge of nothingness.
It's a hodgepodge of nothingness. We did not make that up, of course. Dennis Eckersley.
I wish we did. I wish we coined that phrase.
Dennis Eckersley, the genius. But there you have it. Pirates back at it in April.
Oh,
get down to Bradenton, check them out.
Oh God, it's right around the corner.
It better not, because that means football season.
I know. I just feel baseball breathing down my neck. I love the Pirates, but oh God, do I hate baseball. It's because the Pirates suck.
World Series Game 1 tomorrow. Diamondbacks at Rangers, 8:03.
I don't know who I want to win this. I just don't know. I'd be fine with either team winning.
I have to let me look at the names for a second.
Yeah, right.
I got to take it in for a second. Let me see.
I don't even know.
Diamondbacks at Rangers.
Diamondbacks. Let me take a look at their roster here.
Yeah, tell me if you know three guys on that team.
Miguel Castro. I think I've heard
Miguel Castro. Wasn't that the?
No, he's only 28, so it's not that. It's not that Castro, or not the Castro from Cuba either.
That's who I met. No. Emmanuel Rivera. That's close enough to me. Sounds like a guy that I'm familiar with.
Sounds like a guy I know. I literally don't know anyone.
Go over to the Texas Rangers. See if you recognize anybody on that roster.
Oh my God, this is bad.
There's people that they follow these playoffs so
And
close.
they know these guys
They know
inside and
these
out, and they're
guys,
like
and they're
yelling at us like you don't
Yeah.
know anyone? No. Oh, Chapman, the Rangers have
they got
Aroldis
Aroldis Chapman. We know him.
Yeah, he's 35 years old. Wow.
Did you see Dusty Baker's finally hanging it up? He was still
Finally.
coaching.
Oh, they got Max Scherzer.
Okay, so Scherzer.
They got Will Smith.
Who?
Will Smith. They're getting jiggy with it.
Is Jada gonna let him play?
I don't know. They do keep her name out your mouth. The aforementioned, much beloved Austin Hedges. Marcus Seaman or Semyon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know them. We know Seaman.
Yeah, I don't know any of these guys outside of Aroldis Chapman and Max Scherzer and Austin Hedges. The only reason I know Austin Hedges because he was a Bucko. I don't know anyone.
And Dusty Baker.
Well, Dusty Baker.
Dusty Baker, he was coaching for the Astros. He's like 100. Remember, he was coaching the Reds team that we beat 10 years ago. He was coaching the Cubs. He's literally 7. I think he's 70 years old, either 69 or 70 years old. I was never a big Dusty Baker fan. There was something that went down back in the day. And,
I can't remember what happened. Yeah.
He was being real. It was something real shitty. And I decided at that point that I didn't care for him. Albeit I don't remember what it is, but I still know that I don't care for him, whatever it was.
I do have to say, though, I do like how I don't know anyone in the World Series. That makes it better to where I don't have to like live and die for like, oh God, I grew up with this player. I want to see them win and I'm stressing out. Now I can sit there and watch.
There's like nobody that's even like close to us on the map that you could say, well, they're Northeast. I'll take them.
Yeah.
It's the Arizona and in Arlington, Texas.
2 states I'm not fond of, They're hot.
They're very hot.
Very hot. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think I'm even going to pick anybody.
No, I'm just going to enjoy the ride. I might throw a couple bucks down on one of the games.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good idea because nobody.
I got some money down on the Thursday night game. I'm kind of worried now. That whopping $1
was 35 years old.
35. Yeah, I don't remember him being that old when he pitched with the Reds.
Well, he was only 25 then. Of course, he wasn't that old.
But it seems like he pitched there like 5 years ago. So what do I know?
Yeah.
And my brain's rather smooth anymore. So, I can't retain information. It just rolls right off.
College football, we'll talk a little bit more tomorrow about. We're going to hit football picks here in about 5 minutes, Mike. A couple stories from the NFL. First, the rumor mill. A couple names linked to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Of course, we have the trade deadline looming here in about a week or so, less than a week. A couple big names that are landing in the rumor mill for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Of course, Patrick Surtain is a name that we've talked about over the past week. The other one that I just saw, Mike, Steelers are favorites to land the likes of DeAndre Hopkins. If we got DeAndre Hopkins, let me put this at you as a rental player to get us, to go through the season. That's a nice receiving core with Johnson and Hopkins and Pickens. And you could probably get this guy for pretty cheap at this point, I would think.
So not only did I hear him, I heard Patrick Surtain, Justin, or who's the safety out in Denver? We're also rumored to get him as well. We're rumored to get like 8 new players. So
what? If this was off season, Omar Khan, we'd have them all.
Omar Khan would be cooking.
But now, after what we saw from the first third of the season, from what we did in this off season, now I'm a little more skeptical. I'm wondering if Omar Khan is going to be a little more hesitant to pull the trigger on some of these moves.
I don't know. Some of them are starting to pan out that linebacking course rounded into form. Samalu's rounded into form. So he had couple hits right there, a couple misses, but hey, that's going to happen. But no, I don't know. Do we moves like this? I would expect if I'm a Super Bowl contender or close to being, and that's going to put me over the top. To me, DeAndre Hopkins does not put us over the top.
You know what? I can't. Yeah. No,
Yeah. To me, he doesn't put me over the team over the top. Like a lot of the moves that were suggested about, with Terrell Edmonds, he doesn't put us over the top, but he's a nice piece to have. I'd like to keep him here for as long as he can keep playing, but I don't know. Patrick Surtain, I would love to have him. You pair him and Joey Porter. But my question is, if we get someone like Patrick Surtain, how are we going to pay him? Because look, on defense, we're paying Minka Fitzpatrick, Alex Highsmith, TJ Watt, and Cam Hayward, all huge contracts. So now his contract is going to be due. Najee is going to be due. Fragmu is going to be due. You can't, all these guys are going to have big money contracts.
That in the next topic together, because here's a very good segue to do so. Keep everything that we just said in the frontal lobe, okay? Levi Wallace missed practice with a previously unannounced foot injury. Guard Nate Herbig was out with an illness this week. Levi Wallace, we don't know what the severity of this foot injury is. Of course, sometimes something sounds very minuscule and something might not affect, but you know what? A foot injury on a cornerback could lead to bigger, some problems. So, with that being said, you might take a closer look at the Patrick Surtain idea if you are the people in the office in Pittsburgh
and there's rumors that the Broncos, they're looking for first round picks, like 2 first-round picks. Would you give up the first this year and the first next year?
I would give up a first-round pick because knowing Omar Khan, we could probably make something happen with another trade where we could probably pick up a first-round pick, maybe even get a pick better than what we'll have. I don't have a problem with this group of people that are calling the shots, doing things like this, because I trust that they're not only looking at what they're doing, they're looking down the road at other, next step and the next step. And with these guys, and until we find it to be a proven failure what they're doing, I still have faith in them, and I still believe in him. It's very early in his tenure, and I think he's going to want to make some splashes and make some moves that are going to be, something that sticks with this team for a long time. And maybe a Patrick Surtain who could line up opposite side of Joey Porter Jr. That could be it in the passing league, to have 2 corners.
That would be huge.
That's huge.
Because if they can get him, okay, you trade a first round this year. That I'm okay with that. That's like a Minka Fitzpatrick trade. You're getting Patrick Surtain, and he's still young. He is like 23?
Yeah, he's 23 years old.
Yeah, so that, to me, okay, a lot of rookies are coming in at 23, 24 years old. So you're getting a kid who's been in the league for a few years now. Yeah, he's 23. Yeah, he's been in the league since 2020. So yeah, you're good, or 2021. You're getting more or less a guy, who's age as rookies now, but has this pro experience, who's one of the best corners in the league. I'd have no problem giving up a first this year, a second next year, maybe like a first this year, a second, and something else next year. Sometimes or something else the year sacrifice. After. Yeah, and if they want a player, okay, we'll see who it,
we'll get somebody that's like Patrick Surtain, who's battle tested. He's played in the league for 3 years. We don't have to teach him how to play cornerback in the NFL. There's a lot of advantages, and we could we could take him in at 23 years old as an even trade for a first round pick. I have no problem with that. DeAndre Hopkins is another story. I think that you'd have to look at it entirely different. But the Patrick Surtain, I like the idea. I think a lot of people would be on board on this.
I like it.
Be extremely effective on this.
It would be very effective. But like my issue is, though, we pay him. We're paying a lot onto this defense already. We're going to pay more into this defense, and everyone wants to complain about the offense. Well, if you're spending all your money on one side of the ball, the other side of the ball is going to suffer. So the offense really, what it is what it's going to have to be, because we're putting all of our eggs in that defensive basket, and hoping that these guys on rookie contracts are going to be enough to carry the load on offense. So it's going to be, Steeler fans, we want our defense to be great, but right now you can't, with the salary cap, you can have both.
The only new player that popped up on the injury list this week was Cole Holcomb, who twisted his ankle in the Rams game. Holcomb was in full practice on Wednesday. He looks good. He'll be ready to go come game day.
We need him.
We definitely need him. And, a lot of people, most people aren't. I'm not gonna say most people, because a lot of people do, but a lot of people don't. They don't recognize how good this Jacksonville Jaguars football team is. I've been seeing this team improve a little bit every year over the past 2 or 3 years, and then you get this Trevor Lawrence. You throw him in the mix. He's a generational quarterback. I don't care what anybody says he is. He's gonna be. there's going to be nothing easy about this game with Jacksonville. And of the next 3 home games, I think that this would be the one that we would lose. This team is the most complete team of the teams that we face over the next 3 weeks. And I think that this is the team that you could have. You have to have the least amount of errors in your game if you don't want to try to win. You could pull these guys down and you could try to have an old AFC North fight with these guys. But these guys are old AFC North. They're an AFC North team.
Yeah.
When they played in the Steelers division, it was always equal. It was always even. We beat them there. They beat us here. It went back and forth.
Yep.
There's nothing about this Jaguars team that I feel that they're inferior to Pittsburgh. I think that this is going to be a hard game for the Steelers. I think maybe like a 31-20 final count on this game in the way of the Jaguars.
I can see that,
but that's my prediction. I like I said, I do not look past this football team because this is a really good football team. And as we mentioned on the show, they're only a piece or two away from being a competitor, I think.
Yeah, they are. They're like this Jacksonville team, even like historically, I hate saying, like historically, that's how teams play against each other every year. Rosters change, but trends don't lie in sports for a lot. We historically struggle against the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's just it is what it is with them, man. We just can't beat them. And if we do, they are tight games. And like you said, it's that old AFC North, AFC Central, whatever division you want to call it, it still has that feel to it when you play these games.
Yeah.
And
once you bite the apple of being an AFC North team, that's who you are.
It's
Tennessee Titans. They're still physical. They're still
an
AFC North team, Central, whatever they were. And this should make it even sweeter for us Steeler fans. Trevor Lawrence looking forward to playing in Pittsburgh amid the little yellow towels.
Oh, I knew this was going to come up.
The little yellow towels. Does this fall under the category, Mike?
No.
He didn't do anything physical.
He didn't do anything. He didn't mock it.
Clean his shoes. But calling them the little yellow towels, that's not exactly not mocking it either.
Yeah, but like they asked him about it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that little yellow towel they have." He's like, "That's all I know about." Right. I saw it. I'm like, "Oh, I got to see this," because Yinzer Nation was in an uproar. I'm thinking, "Oh, he did something."
Did that? What were people? I didn't catch anybody's responses. I caught it. I put it down to talk about it.
Oh, they're all like, "Oh, how dare he disrespect the towel? Oh, we're gonna destroy him now." It's like people and other fans were like, "Guys, he just said it, he described the terrible towel what it is. It is literally a little yellow towel. It's smaller than a bath towel, smaller than a beach towel."
Yeah,
I think he kind of knew not to talk shit on this terrible towel, but just talk enough to where the curse doesn't really kick in. He threaded the needle, man. That's why he's a generational quarterback. He can thread the needle. I was hoping he did something stupid because
other things we don't like. Did you see this? And apparently it's true. I thought, when I first seen it, I thought it was something made up. But did you see this guy that bought this Ravens hat?
Oh yeah.
This Ravens fan buys a Ravens hat, and underneath the logo, it has a misprint, and it literally says Steelers. There's the Ravens, the dumb bird thing they have, and then underneath of it, where it would say Ravens, it says Steelers.
I love it.
And again, I thought this is just something that somebody made, but I see on CBS Sports Pittsburgh, they actually they posted it as a news story. So I'll take it. I'll take it as a news story. But he didn't know because you could, by the lettering, if you see the picture, the lettering is real white. It's white and it kind of mixes in with the back a little bit. And it's wild. It's a Ravens hat, says Steelers. And I think that's pretty funny, man.
I think it's funny. And because, it looks like that background that, because like what, a black gray matte type, whatever, printed with every team's name on it, and then you just slap a logo on, and it just happened to be perfect where it's the Ravens on the Steelers.
We used to have this store around here. It was called Gabriel's.
You would find all that off-brand.
You find a shirt where one arm was longer than the other arm.
All the bad batches would go there.
Yeah. You wonder if that's where he got it. Like a place like that, you know what I mean?
No, I think it was in the actual like the actual team store.
How does that happen?
Like that's employees going, you know what? It's not my problem. I'm putting this shit out. I don't get paid enough for this. Trust me, I've been there in retail and like I see a mistake, like, it's not my job. I'm not the manufacturer. I get paid to stock the shelf.
Now, speaking of the Titans, a little bit ago, Titans, another Tennessee Titan goes to the Eagles. Will Compton is on his way to Philadelphia. Of course, A.J. Brown, Kevin Byard, these guys that went to Philadelphia and having an amazing career, being amazing pieces put into place on his Philadelphia team. Will Compton is on his way from Philadelphia's minority, or not, what it would be, like a minor league team. A minor. That's what they're turning into, this Tennessee team. Anybody that's good, they head to Philadelphia. Apparently, the same is with Georgia, the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah, they go to Philly or Pittsburgh now.
If you went to Georgia, you play for the Titans, you probably are going to go to the Philadelphia Eagles. If not, as Mike said, come here to Pittsburgh. We'll take it.
Yeah, but it still baffles me, that A.J. Brown trade.
Yeah,
you get one of the best receivers in the league, and you ship him off to the Eagles, and he gets even better.
Talking about a generational player, he's just a beast, man.
He's like, what is it?
He looks like Megatron when he plays. That's what I think of. I think of Calvin Johnson when I watch A.J. Brown.
What, 5 games in a row with 150 yards receiving.
Oh, dude! The only thing I had to see was him play against us last year, and that was ridiculous.
Yeah,
absolutely. Our guys were tumbling around on top of ourselves, and
he's a beast. He's
trying to cover him. They were falling over each other trying to cover the guy while he's catching a touchdown. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, and he's 809 yards already.
Yeah, a third of the way through the season, you're on.
Yeah, he only has 2 touchdowns though, or 3 touchdowns, so he sucks.
Well, that means yeah, right.
You just trade him to Bay. We'll take him off your hands for a 4th, guys. He's not living up to his end of the bargain.
You gotta really like what Philadelphia's done with their team over there. I have by no means like that football team, but you gotta say, wow, what have they done? And it's been really great.
Howie Grossman, man, their GM, he's just
he's
a wizard, man. Hopefully, the guy who came. I forget our guy's name from Philly who came over. Working with Omar Khan. Andy Weedle. Yeah, hopefully some of that Howie Rose magic is rubbing off.
All right, Mike. I hope some magic's working off, rubbing off on you, because it is time. It is time to see if you can live up to your reputation this season of winning even when you lose, you win now. But
even when I lose, I win.
So let's take a look at this week's schedule, Mike. We're going to do our picks for the week. This is big. This is huge. And I pull it up. We will make it happen. Mike, this week's games, they start tonight. And this is why we do these picks on Thursday, people, is because we want to be fair. We want to make sure we get every game in. And we want to make sure that it's all done within a timely manner. So we're going to start, Mike, with tonight's game. And the game tonight is between
Let's go.
Tampa Bay and Buffalo. Now, Buffalo is struggling, but they're a good team. Tampa Bay is playing somewhat good, but I don't think they're that good of a team.
Yeah.
This is kind of a deceiving matchup.
An NFC South, man.
An NFC South good team. And so what's that tell you? Buffalo, they've been playing under where I believe they should be. And I think they're going to be fine. They're sitting at the last playoff spot at the moment, but I think Buffalo is going to be fine. Mike, we're going to start this week with the Buffalo Bills hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers tonight at 8:15. Who do you like?
I'm taking Buffalo. I know it's the easy answer, but I think they're going to get back into a groove.
I can't see Tampa Bay.
They're too talented not to. They got
in
some
Buffalo.
Good players. Yeah, but it's in Buffalo, night game. I almost talked myself into saying Baker Mayfield's going to ball out.
But even if he does, I don't think they're going to win this game.
I don't think they're going to win that game.
I think he's going to.
I'm going to take
fine.
Buffalo. I am taking Buffalo.
Mike, this game here, hop on the subway, baby. We're going to New York.
Oh yeah, baby.
This is the
New York
going to New York.
The Battle of New York taking place in New Jersey.
And we'll stop at Coney Island and get some hot dogs. Call it some Coney dogs. Mike, the Jets at the Giants, or the Jets against the Giants, at the Jets, at the Giants. You get the point.
I get the point.
Mike, who wins this game? A team that was expected to do great things this year. They lose their quarterback within first 4 snaps of the season. Or this team with the Giants, who's playing a different quarterback. They win last week. Mike, who do you like? The Jets or the Giants?
And
You have a stud running back, with the G-men,
in the Giants or in the Jets
in the
as well.
defense on this
Mahomes.
Jets team. I would have thought that this game would have won in the favor of the Jets, but you know what? I think at this point it's a toss-up.
It is a toss-up. I in pre-show planning, I talked myself into a Giants win, but now I'm thinking I'm going to take the Jets. I'm going to take the Jets. Yeah, I like Tyrod Taylor became the first black quarterback to win a game for the New York Giants.
Wow.
This is 2023.
I can't believe Tyrod Taylor's still playing.
Yeah, that was wild.
Where's JP Lossman at? Maybe we could have him.
I was like, we're going to ride that train, but now I'm going to go with the Jets. I think
you can't pick the Jets without doing it, Mike. Jets. Jets. Jets.
Go play.
Go play.
Make it official, man.
Not make it official. I'm sorry.
All right, say it.
Jets, baby.
All right, that's good enough.
I'm sorry.
I can't hold it against you for what
for what's happening in my ear
for what you not know. Next game, Mike, we're gonna skip past the Steeler game. We'll come back to that at the very end because that's where we're gonna get our tiebreaker. The next game, Mike, is an interdivisional game between the Eagles at this Washington football team. Mike, the Eagles at the Commanders.
I'm going to take the Eagles.
You feel confident with that?
Not really. I think this game could be a tight game.
Got to remember the Commanders just lost to the Giants last week.
They did just lose to the Giants.
And the Eagles just beat the Dolphins.
But this is a divisional game.
Yes.
And we know how that goes here. We always said the division games are tough, but I think the Eagles win. The Eagles are just going to push the brotherly shove all the way down the field.
Yeah.
Every single play and win by 14-0.
I can't wait till we start seeing Brittany Mahomes push and Taylor Swift around the booth. They did the chest bump last week. We might see the tush push this week.
You never know.
That's what keeps me tuning in. Next game on the schedule, Mike, is a team that we just beat. Yes, the Pittsburgh Steelers beat this team, the Los Angeles Rams. In Los Angeles, they travel, Mike, to Dallas to play under the world's largest television screen. Who wins, Mike? The Rams or the Cowboys?
I'm taking them boys. I hate taking them boys, but after watching that Rams team collapse against the Steelers in the second half,
yeah.
And Dallas, Pittsburgh's defense, Dallas defense, both really, really good. And Dallas offense is just a little bit better than the Steelers offense. So I think it's going to be Dallas.
All right, let's go to the NFC North. Mike, this game, at certain times in history, was a big game in the NFC North. This year, Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings, they jump on the plane, they fly over to Green Bay. Wisconsin, they're going to play. Mike, this game is Vikings at Packers. Who do you think wins this?
I'm going to
this mess.
I'm going to take the Vikings. I think last week might put that upset victory over the Niners might be enough to get them rolling just a little bit, even though they are without Justin Jefferson. But we're seeing Jordan Addison.
You know what? They're doing just fine without Justin Jefferson. It's not like Kirk Cousins really fell off. He's still slinging the ball all around the field. And as you just mentioned, Jordan Addison's was a nice pickup with the draft this year. I don't think that's a bad pick. And Green Bay is looking really bad. They don't look good this year.
Yeah,
not working out for Jordan Love the way they wanted it to.
No. Yeah, but with Jordan Love though too, man, I was watching some video breakdowns of him. His receivers are not helping him out at all. They're stopping on routes and stuff. Kind of like when I like to criticize Kenny, I got to watch the actual whole footage to see. Okay, half the time it's not his fault.
Right.
That's what's going on with Jordan Love.
I do understand. I know. Like the next game, the Atlanta Falcons at the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans are already. I mean, they're losing parts and pieces every week.
Oh yeah.
You see this plane falling apart mid flight.
Yeah.
Is there any? I don't want to ask if there's any chance they can beat the Falcons because I mean the Falcons.
The Falcons try to beat themselves.
Yeah. Who do you think wins this game?
I'm taking the Falcons. I think it's be a lot closer than it should be because you have the Titans. Their quarterback situation right now is Will Levis and Malik Willis. They're going to alternate them.
Yeah.
It's like, the old saying, if you have two quarterbacks, you don't have one quarterback. I
They have
think
a Malik Levis
they dropped the ball
or a
on both
Will
those.
Willis.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what happens when you overvalue quarterbacks. Yes, quarterbacks a valuable position, but you're trying to elevate people in a draft class to being first round picks. And neither of these guys were. Yeah, they have flashes, but I think it's going to be a while before you see them actually develop.
All right, we're going to flash over to the AFC East. Mike, the New England Patriots, they travel to South Florida, take on the Miami Dolphins. Patriots come off a big win over the Buffalo Bills last week.
Yeah.
Miami Dolphins drop a game to the Eagles. Now, this one I'm going to put in this way. Is there any way, Mike, the New England Patriots go to to go to Miami and come home with the win?
No. Miami's playing another team with a losing record, so Miami's going to cakewalk.
You're right. You said that yesterday about the teams they beat, and you couldn't be any more correct. They were I think it was them. Whoever you said yesterday, and
it was Miami. Yeah,
they were terrible teams. They weren't even the bad team. They were the worst teams in the league.
Yeah, they were some very bad teams, and even like last year, man, when they were winning,
they only beat us 16-10.
Yeah, they beat bad teams, man. Or they beat teams that were going through something at the time, So it's not like they're an impressive team.
You got Miami?
Yeah, I got Miami.
Saints and Colts. I don't want to get too far into this one because we are running out of time. Saints, you got the Colts on this?
Yeah, Derek Carr is proving why he's washed out everywhere.
And you know what, the Colts, they're kind of surprising me this year. They're in a lot of games that maybe they shouldn't be in.
Yeah.
And they just they're prowling, finding that one team that's going to have enough mistakes. And I like the Colts too.
I just wish Anthony Richardson didn't get hurt to see where him and that team would be now, man.
It'll be fun moving forward.
All of them grow together because he was looking good, and then
Mike, number one, number two, Texans, Panthers, Stroud. I know
this one.
Who wins this football game?
I'm taking CJ Stroud and the Texans. I stand by. I said it before the draft, and I'll say it now. CJ Stroud was the best quarterback in this draft. He should have been taken number one.
All right. Next game, Browns traveling across the country to play the Seattle Seahawks. This defense, I think, is a championship caliber defense. On the other hand, the offense is a lot like ours in ways. Mike, do the Browns keep this thing going in Seattle?
I think that defense is going to keep them in this game, and I think it's going to be just enough. I like Seattle, but I think that defense is so damn good. It's going to be enough to pull it out.
Another AFC North team traveling to the other side of the country, to the West Coast. This one to the Bay Area. Mike, the Cincinnati Bengals are playing the 49ers in what is a rematch of a rematch in the Super Bowl. These two teams faced each other 2 times in the Super Bowl. San Francisco wins both of those games. Mike, is there any chance to believe that the Bengals are gonna break that up, and or is this just gonna be another San Francisco win over the Bengals?
I think the Bengals are gonna go out there and win.
Ooh.
Brock Purdy's in concussion protocol. I just think Cincinnati's starting to round into form. They're not the Cincinnati that we saw the last 2 years, but I think Joe Burrow's getting better and better each week. And I think, St. Fran's reeling a little, and now would be the time to pounce on them. I
think that the Bengals could really prove something by going out to San Francisco and winning this football game. I think that you could say that they are rounding the corner and getting back to where they need to be if they go out to San Francisco and win this football game.
And real quick, like if Sam Darnold goes out there and balls out, oh my God, the talking points of how
that's
going to be wild if he balls out.
It's already bouncing around in my head. I just didn't say anything yet.
Yeah, but it's going to be wild if that happens.
Let's travel to the wild, wild west, the AFC West. That is the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. Some people might say, "Oh, this is easy. I'm taking the Chiefs." But these are the kind of games that end up like last week, the Chiefs winning 24-17 because it's a division game, and the Chiefs aren't as impressive this year as they've been. Denver, they're bad, but you know what? They're the kind of team that finds ways to win ugly games, like a lot of other teams in the league this year. Mike, Chiefs at Mile High.
I'm taking the Chiefs, but like you said, I think it might be a close one. I'm taking the Chiefs easily.
How long after a Chiefs loss do you think they're going to start blaming it on Taylor Swift
Oh, first
being a
loss.
distraction? And then if it hits a Travis Kelsey,
If he drops a pass, yeah, because like even though the stats show that he plays better since those two have been together,
but he's bound to not have something's got to go against this guy.
It's going to be her fault, and
he's doing Taylor Swift. He's like,
oh
man.
And then it's going to be like Andy Reid has lost control of the team, even though he's like when that stat came up showing Kelsey left to his own devices, or when Taylor Swift's there, they're better. He's like, Andy Reid said, Taylor Swift can come to every single game.
With this woman, she has so much power and so much attention now. They would be just fine probably giving her the headset and let her be the next coach.
I love all the memes that they're showing John Gruden diagramming plays. It's like Swifties after 10 weeks of watching NFL football.
You're gonna see Andy Reid up there belly bumping with Brittany Mahomes, chest bumping.
I would pay good money to watch that.
Next game on the list, Mike. The Baltimore Ravens is traveling to Arizona to play the Cardinals. Who do you like in this game?
Baltimore.
Yeah.
Baltimore. I talk about a team rounded into form.
I don't see it yet. I see they have a really good game against Detroit. I have to see more of this Baltimore team if I could talk about them rounding into form just
That's
yet.
Fair.
Let's wait more than a week before we make that call. So you got Baltimore.
I got
like 3 games left. I have a Sunday night, a Monday night, and the Steeler game. Let's hop to it. The Bears at the Chargers, a team that's having a very hard time. 2 teams that are having a hard time winning football games, but one of those 2 teams more recently are having a little bit more success than the other, and it's not the one that most people would have guessed. The Bears at the Chargers. Mike, who do you think wins this game in Los Angeles?
I'm taking upset city. I'm taking the Chicago Bears.
Okay.
I'm taking
they're the team out of these 2 that's finding ways to win recently.
I'm taking Tyson Bagnet. I have no faith in Brandon Staley out there in
I don't either. He's really fucking that kid up. He is fucking that kid up, man. I hate seeing it.
One of the best quarterbacks in the league, and we're going to find ways to make him look bad.
What did we say the other day? He has more losses than any active quarterback since he's been drafted. That's unbelievable.
That's wild. And it's not like he's out there making bad decisions.
That happens in San Diego. You don't, if you get drafted to San Diego and you're a really good quarterback, get the hell out of there. Go play baseball.
Eli Manning.
Exactly.
Pulling Eli. He did that exactly. Phillip Rivers, whether you like or you hate this guy, he falls in the same position. That guy was good enough to win a Super Bowl. He was better than Eli Manning, in my opinion. Yeah.
As far as playing quarterback, don't go to the Chargers if you are a good quarterback. Don't do it.
Drew Brees got out of there and goes on and wins the Super Bowl.
Damn right. That's right. Drew Brees is another one. Got the hell out of there and he went and won the Super Bowl. Exactly. Point proven. Mike, we got to go to the Monday night game, the last game of the weekend. This game, I think, is going to be an easy one. I think that the Detroit Lions at home at Ford Field, coming off that loss, are hosting the Raiders, who just lost to somebody ridiculous over the past couple of weeks. I don't recall. Mike, any chance that the Raiders could go to Ford Field and pull out a win against this Detroit Lions team?
No. Detroit is going to lay an ass whooping on them. To exercise the demons from last week.
Yeah.
I think Detroit is now like a good enough team to where they can take that ass whooping that they took and turn around and hand it to someone else.
So in a few short days after that, Mike, the Titans come to town to play the Steelers on Thursday night of next week. So 1 week from now, but before that happens, we have a game to talk about with these Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike, they host the Jacksonville Jaguars. 1:00 on Sunday, Acrisure Stadium. Get down to the North Shore, guys, to check this out. Tail party, have all kind of fun. Mike, who's going to win this football game between Jacksonville and Pittsburgh on Sunday?
I've been waffling all week on this one. Like before the show started, I'm like Pittsburgh. As the show's going on, no Jacksonville, and I'm back to Pittsburgh. But I think I'm going to take Jacksonville. I think they're just good enough to come in here and win. But I think Pittsburgh's good enough to hang with them, and to where if we lose this one, we're going to win the next 2.
The thing about this team, they're a good team.
Yeah.
And when it comes to us playing a good team, it hasn't been working out for us.
Yeah.
We've beat the Raiders. We've beat a couple division teams. When
Mhm.
was the last time we beat a good team? Last year, the good teams were the Dolphins. We lost. Last year, the
Yep.
good team was the Eagles, the Buffalo Bills. We
Uh-huh.
lost. The other good team this year that we lost to was the 49ers. When we play a good team, we tend to not win those games.
Yeah.
This isn't a team to me that I think we're going to be able to drag down to the ground. I think they are just as tough as we are.
Mhm.
If we drag them down to play a dirty game, they're going to find a way to win. I
Yeah.
just think they're a good team. They're
They're a
going to
good team.
find a way. Again, my call on this, I want to say right off the top, was 31-20. That's going to be my prediction in favor of the Jaguars. But Mike, what do you got to say?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game. Be careful. Look out for Calvin Ridley. He's a damn good receiver. It sucks that he was suspended last year for gambling, but he's coming back. He's looking really good. Trevor Lawrence is good. Defense is good. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think it's going to be a close game. I'm taking Jacksonville. I think it's going to be like a 27-24 type game.
All right. You say 27, 20.
27-24.
All right. As I write this down, you figure out the math on that.
Oh, 27-24.
I believe it's 51.
Yeah.
So you got Jacksonville.
Yep. I was at
27.
52. Don't ask where I got that extra one from.
What's oh, you're good. So all right. So that's your tiebreaker, which and there's real no good reason why we're doing it, but we're going to do it just in case I decide to throw the computer mouse in to run against you in this week's contest to give you a little competition. But here it is, everybody. It's etched in stone. I've been over here etching away like Fred Flintstone every time they wrote. So there it is. It's in stone. Mike, why don't you go and tell everybody about the website?
The2dumyinzers.com. Head on over there. Oh, your 2 Dumb Yinzers things. We got all of our merch stores over there. The links are over, socials is over there, blogs over there. Everything you need. The2dumyinzers.com.
Go check it out, everybody. The2dumyinzers.com, www.the2dumyinzers.com. I do want to send a special shout out and put a plug for the guys over at the Hey Peanut Sports Show. They are on the radio at WBVP, Beaver County Radio 99.3 FM every Wednesday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. They gave us a pretty nice lengthy plug again, so I do want to thank them and put that out for them. These guys are also on Facebook. You could check out the shows that they do. They do them on Facebook Live, so you could go back and watch them, or again from 4 to 6 on Wednesday. It's live. Check them out. It's good stuff.
Wow.
Mike, the question of the day is this. Trivia of the day. It's a Jacksonville Jaguars question. I think this one's fun. There's hard ones, there's easy ones, and then there's fun ones. I like this one. Here we go. Who is Jacksonville's all-time leading scorer, Mike? Who is Jacksonville's all-time leading scorer? You think that over. And if you want some choices, I'll give them to you. Hey, I'm feeling generous today. But we are live, everybody. We're live 5 days a week from Monday to Friday, right here at 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. In the show that we do live every day, we go and we upload it over on Spotify at 8 o'clock p.m. in the evening. So if you only get a chance to listen to the show, maybe you're in the gym, maybe you're in the car, you can only listen. This show that we're doing now will be uploaded tonight at 8 o'clock on Spotify. Check it out. All right, Mike, here's your Jacksonville Jaguars question of the day. Who is Jacksonville's all-time leading scorer? Mike, would you like some choices? Why don't you just take the being such a hard head and take the choices for once?
Oh, fine. Give me the choices.
All right, here we go. The all-time leading scorer for the Jaguars, is it Fred Taylor, Josh Scobie, Josh Lambo, or Maurice Jones-Drew? Maurice Jones-Drew, Lambo, Scobie, Taylor. You have any ideas? You leaning anyway?
Josh Scobie actually popped into my head before the choices came up, so I'm gonna go Josh Scobie.
Josh Scobie, interesting. Is that your final answer?
Yep.
All right. Let me make it official. There you go. Now it's official. All right, we're looking for who is Jacksonville's all-time leading scorer? Fred Taylor, Josh Scobie, Josh Lambo, or Maurice Jones-Drew? Mike chose Josh Scobie. And the player that is the all-time leading scorer for the Jacksonville Jaguars has 1,022 points. I'll tell you that. And I'll also tell you that he is Josh Scobie, Mike. He is the all-time leading scorer for the Jacksonville Jaguars with 1,022 points. He has 235 field goals made for Jacksonville, 317 extra points, and he does, in fact, lead this franchise all-time in scoring. Good job.
That literally the only kicker I knew for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I wouldn't have gotten it. I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have
Didn't
gotten
he
it right.
come here to Pittsburgh to kick?
I don't remember that.
I don't know. I just knew Josh Scobie.
I would have thought it would have been like Keenan McCardell.
No, remember I did that math on Janikowski. He would have counted for like 300 some odd touchdowns.
Yeah. Who was the other one? They had Keenan McCardell, and they had somebody on the other side. Who was that other receiver they had?
Jimmy Smith.
Yes, Jimmy Smith. Yes, Jimmy Smith. That was like, man, they had some
Keenan
good players.
McCardell, Tony Baselli,
Mark Brunell,
Maurice Jones-Drew. Some good players on that team coming through there.
So there you go, guys. One more day of Jacksonville questions tomorrow. Then we got the big game this weekend, of course. We do want to say thank you, everybody, for checking us out. As always, we appreciate each and every one of you.
We do.
Couldn't do it without you. Mike, any thoughts before we go, man?
Here we go. This quote from Joey Porter Jr.
Mm-hmm.
So I mentioned Calvin Ridley was suspended last year for gambling.
Yeah.
Joey Porter, when asked about his matchup against him this week, he's about to have the same stats as when he was suspended for gambling.
Nice.
Oh, Peasy does not fall far from the Peasy tree. I love it.
Who said that?
That was Joey Porter Jr. He was like, Calvin Ridley is about to have the same stats this week as he had all of last year. 0.0.
0.0.
I'm loving Peasy Jr. Now he just needs to go back it up like his dad did.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Papa backed it up every time he opened his mouth.
Mike, what I have for today is this. I just wanted to follow up with something that I said yesterday. I got the story now, so I could talk about it in its entirety. A man is accused of filming Penn State University students in a dorm shower. That is more detailed than what yeah. So there you go. Go to Penn State at your own
yeah, go at your own risk.
Go at your own risk.
But if you're a good football player, please come. We need help.
It would happen there.
It would. Creepy Valley.
Out of the gazillion universities, this would be where this incident would happen.
We have that. We got the disgusting Jerry Sandusky, and then we got
that's what I'm saying. You know, the connection.
And then the professor out in the woods with wild.
And the professor in the woods. This is getting better.
But hey, you know what? We beat Pitt the last time we played, y'all.
That's true. But the fact that they won't play us speaks volumes. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
You need to get up on our level. Okay, once you get some of these weird news stories,
hey, nobody, you ain't on no level. You don't beat none of them teams on that level. You're more on our level, damn it. So, but hey,
see, that's our problem. We're ranked that high to where Pitt would actually win. That's the problem.
I think they should let these two teams play every year. I think I think it's good for football.
It is.
You know, and I think it would be a very healthy.
Yeah. Pitt Penn State, the backyard brawl.
What's the word I'm looking for? A rivalry. I think it'll be a healthy rivalry for football in general. Yeah. And it would be good for What?
I was going to say, like, it's up there with some of the great rivalries in college football. So
I agree. I think that it could get big. You know what I mean? I think it's already big, but it could be a big thing. But hey, it is time for us to check out for today. Hope everyone has a safe Thursday, Mike. We will talk more college tomorrow. We do got to talk about the games coming up this weekend, amongst other things. We have the Penguins tonight. They do play at 7:00. World Series starts tomorrow. Again, tomorrow, more Steeler news, Steeler conversation, and that be that. So anything else?
I got nothing, man.
All right. For the two Dum Yinzers, Mike,